One idea we wanted to work with in Imagination was the possibility of performers virtually sharing volumetric space, combining green screen virtual production and XR workflows to spatially film telepresent performers into a single composition. To do this, we positioned a fixed camera set in a spatially known position of our 3D environment. Our performers rehearsed with the background in place to understand where they were in the room. Then we switched the LED to green screen to capture their actions. This was then recomposited on the LED when the final shot with our actress and avatar was taken. The key insight from this was that it's possible to do this live between sites, and that with positionally repeating robotic or PTZ tracking, camera movement in this shot would also be possible. The balance of XR in lighting the performer with physical light contrasted against the digital and environmental light to create realistic-to-camera illumination is key to the illusion of mixed reality. Our original vision for Imagination included more animation of interior and exterior lighting of the scenes from a narrative perspective. However, the adjustment to the workflow timings altered our scope expectations in practice. Realistic shadows of the live performer in a virtual environment needs further research, but we found success through physical lighting of the performer, creating real shadows which interacted with digital props. While we had reflections we couldn't get rid of in our film, we also had some we wanted to create to tell our story. In our first method, we positioned a virtual camera to send a reflection via NDI into a mirror surface in our scene to reflect our digital avatar in mixed reality. In our final shot, we used footage taken from the opposite angle to reflect from our performer's point of view a mirror in the scene. This created an entirely new scene which was not filmed on site, utilizing XR assets in post-production. One exciting discovery in having a multi-room 3D set was the success of parallax effects giving 3D depth to facilitate the storytelling and foreshadow the path of our protagonist. We also created an animated exterior to create dynamic depth to interior scenes through our windows, and to stage the setting of our story in a place. Color is hard. A key insight in our workflow was the need to work backwards from the end result to determine optimal color space, and a complete refinement of workflow from world building through to camera, keeping consistency from shot to shot. Color is one part of post-production that in our opinion is extremely important. We feel to improve the process, you would pre-light the room before the reality capture to reduce the impact of lighting and color in world building. You need to understand both how the LED stage outputs color and how a particular camera will capture that information, and flatten it for an optimized post-production color workflow. It is this consistency that creates the conditions for high-quality cinematic scenes and the greatest efficiency of process. The music for Imagination was composed and performed by Paula Deshay. In a collaborative process, we shared our narrative, concept, mood, and stylistic intent along with a previous fly-through of our intended story path and scenic timelines. Paula then crafted individual motifs for each room, which after testing against our previs, we were able to approve for final interweaving of the composition into a final recording. We thank Paula for working with us remotely and having patience as we work through an entirely original concept and process in such a short period of time. It was important for us to understand the workflow limitations in this new medium and to analyze the metrics to determine things like value and optimize our resources for future productions. While our end result was only 2.5 minutes, the ability to scale usage time in our environment was infinite. All of our filming was done over 4 days, including testing. We estimate this production took 600 hours, including team workflow training, asset harvesting, asset modifications, world assembly, integration of scenes for screens delivery, and filming, with an additional 100 hours of post-production. The insight of this for the value proposition point of view is that the amount of effort put into the details of the environment is its value, not the permanent usage cost of its result. In conclusion, we would like to thank our partners, Lucid Technologies and Blacklight Studios, for their support in making Imagination a reality and supporting our research into this new medium. Our team was made up almost entirely of under 25s who learned an invaluable set of skills as this technology evolves. James, Kate, Serena, Andrew, Kaylin, Ashley, and Shannon were each integral into our success. Our support from manufacturers Disguise, Notch, Stage Precision, Blacktrax, and Noitum was also important in developing and integrating unique pathways for extraordinary illusions. Our performers from Edinburgh Dance School and our star Amelia shared their enthusiasm for discovery as they interacted with our digital environment. Our intent and purpose of this project was to evaluate XR and to share that knowledge with you. We appreciate your interest and support. If you've enjoyed this essay on our results, please subscribe to our socials and contact us with any questions or feedback. Thank you for believing in imagination.